Excutor in MyBatis. Here you can see the executor. The relationship between executor and SQL session is like mayor and secretary. SQL session is just a facade, and real thing is executor. SQL sessions operations on database are all done through executor. Like SQL session, executor is created dynamically. It can be seen that if the cache is not enabled, the created executor is only one of three basic types. Batch executor is especially used to execute batch SQL operations. Reuse executor will reuse statement to execute SQL operations. Simple executor simply executes SQL without anything special. When the cache is enabled, it is enabled by default, and there is no reason to disable it. The caching executor is created that takes the previously created executor as it's only one parameter. Caching executor searches the cache before querying the database. If it is not found, it calls the delegate, that is executor object passed in during construction to query the database and store the query result in the cache. Executor objects can be interpreted by plugins. If the plugin for the executor type is defined, the resulting executor object is a proxy object inserted by the plugin. Next, we look at the execution process of SQL. Above we got the mapper proxy. Each mapper proxy corresponding to DAO interfaces. So how do we use mapper proxy when we use it? The mapper proxy, we know that access to the method of proxies object will be implemented in the invoke of the proxy. The mapper method, like a distributor, we choose to like distributor, he chooses different SQL session methods to execute according to the parameters and return value types. In this way, the mapper object and SQL sessions are truly associated. Now that we are back to SQL session, as we mentioned earlier, SQL session is just a facade, and it is the executor that really plays the role. We access the SQL session method will eventually fall to the corresponding method of the executor. Executor is divided into two categories. One is cache executor and the other is ordinary execution. The creation of the executor has been introduced before, so let's look at the crude method of a SQL session. Cache executor has the important attribute delegate, which stores a certain type of common executor. The value is passed in when framing, when executing the database update operation, which directly call the update method for the delegate, and executing query method if it first tries to get the value from the cache. Ordinary executor, there are three types. They all are inherited from the base executor. Batch executor is specially used to execute batch SQL operations. Reuse executor will use statement to execute SQL operations, and simple executor simply execute SQL without anything special. Then through layer by layer calls, we will finally come to the do query method. Here let's find an executor to see implementation of do query method. I choose here simple executor here. There are 3 built-in executor types in MyBatis. The default is simple. In this mod, it creates a new prepared statement for execution of each statement and submit a single SQL statement, while the batch mod reuses the prepared statement and executes all the batches. Update statement, obviously the batch performance will be better, but the batch mode also has its own problems. For example, and in the insert operation before the transaction is committed, there is no way to obtain self-incrementing ID, which does not meet the business requirement in certain types of situations. Here you can see actor, mapped proxy, mapped method, default SQL session, simple executor, prepared statement, and result set here. See here actor is connected to mapped proxy via via invoke. Mapped proxy is connected to mapped method via execute method. Here map method is connected to itself via CRUD. Here map method is connected to default SQL session. Default SQL session is connected to simple executor via query method. Here simple executor is connected to itself via query from the database, and simple executor is connected to itself via do query. And here simple executor is connected to prepared statement via query. Prepared statement is connected to itself via execute, and here prepared statement is connected to handle result set. Prepared statement is connected to result set handle via handle result set method, and it returns to prepared statement. The result set handler then return to the prepared statement. It's returned to the simple execute. It's returned to the default session, and it returned to the actor. Now this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for watching it.